Welcome back to Destination Jamaica. Today we're mourning the passing of Bunny Wailer. We saw the news this morning that he has passed. Another icon lost. Another legacy that will go on forever. So we just want to tell you a little bit about Bunny as we celebrate his life as a musical icon in the Jamaican music industry. So his name is Neville O'Reilly Livingston. He was born on the 10th of April 1947 and he's best known as Bunny Wailer. He's a Jamaican singer-songwriter and was originally a member of the group The Wailers along with Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. Bunny is a 3-time Grammy Award winner. He's considered one of the longtime standard bearers of reggae music. He is affectionately called Jabi. So let's speak about a little bit about his early life. Alright, so the young Neville Livingston, he spent his earliest years in the village of 9 Mile in St. Anne Parish. That was where he met Bob Marley, and the two kids quickly became friends. Now, Bob Marley and Bunny, they came from single-parent families, and Livingston himself was brought up by his father, and as you know, Marley by his mother. Later, Bunny's father, Thaddeus Livingston, lived with Bob Marley's mother, Cedilla Booker, and had a daughter with her name, Pearl Livingston. Peter Tosh had a son, Andrew Tosh, with another of Bunny's sister, Shirley, making Andrew his nephew. So they got a whole family thing going on there among 3 of the greatest musicians that we've known. Now, Bunny originally went to audition for Leslie Kong at Beverly Records in 1962. Around the same time Bob Marley was cutting Judge Not. Bunny had not intended, well, he had intended to sing his first composition, Pass It On, which at the time was more ska oriented. But Bunny was late getting out of school, so he missed his audition and was told he wasn't needed. A few months later, in 1963, he formed the Wailing Wailers with his stepbrother, Bob Marley, and friend, Peter Tosh. And the short-lived members, Junior Braithwaite and Beverly Kelso. He was, by some way, the least forceful of the group, so he tended to sing lead vocals less often than Marley and Tosh in the early years. But when Bob Marley left Jamaica in 1966 for Delaware, US, replacing Bunny with Constantine Vision Walker, he began to record and sing lead vocals on some of his own compositions, such as Who Feels It, Knows It, I Stand Predominant, and Sunday Morning. His music was influenced by gospel and the soul of Curtis Mayfield. In 1967, he recorded this train based on a gospel standard for the first time at Studio One. Now, did you know that Bunny Wailer was arrested? He was actually arrested on charges of possession of cannabis in June 1967, and he served a 14-month prison sentence. Around this time, he signed an exclusive recording agreement alongside Bob Marley and Peter Tosh with Danny Sims, J. Jad Records, and an exclusive publishing agreement with Sims Music Publishing Company, Cayman Music. As the Wailers regularly changed producers in the late 1960s, he continued to be underused as a writer and lead vocalist. though it was a key part of the group's distinctive harmonies. He sang lead on Dreamland, a cover of El Tempo's My Dream Island, which soon became Bunny's signature song. Riding High, Brainwashing, and on one verse of the Wailers' impressions like Keep On Moving, both produced by Lee Scratch Perry. In 1971, he recorded the original version of Pass It On, which was also released on dubplate and wasn't widely known until it appeared on Jad's original cuts many years later. This version of the song features different lyrics and music in the verses to the later versions of Pass It On. Bunny would later reuse these in Innocent Blood. By 1973, each of the three founding Wailers operated their own label. Marley with Tough Gang, Tosh with Him, Intel Diplo, and Bunny Wailer with Solomonic. Solomonic. Now let's continue. That's a little bit of Bunny Wailer Pass It On. You can definitely see or listen to these on YouTube. Now, I said they formed their own labels, right? Now he sang Bunny, that is, lead vocals on Reincarnated Souls, the B-side of the Wailers' first island single of the new era, and on two tracks on the Wailers' last trio LP, Burning, Pass It On, which had been cut as a sound system only dubplate 5 years later, and Hallelujah Time. By now, he was recording singles in his own right, cutting Searching for Love, Lifeline, Bite Up, Arab Oil Weapon, and Pass It On, a new recording of the Wailers song for his own label. Bunny Wailer toured with the Wailers in England and the United States, but soon became reluctant to leave Jamaica. He and Tash became more marginalized in the group as the Wailers became an international success, and attention was increasingly focused on Marley. Bunny subsequently left the Wailers in 1973 to pursue a solo career after refusing to tour when Chris Blackwell wanted the Wailers to tour freak clubs in the United States, stating that it was against its Rastafari principles. Before leaving the Wailers, Bunny became more focused on his spiritual faith. He identified with the Rastafari movement, as did the other Wailers. He had also written much of his own material, as well as re-recorded a number of cuts from the Wailers' catalog. Bunny Wailer has recorded primarily in the roots style, in keeping with his often political and spiritual messages. He and Tash would frequently sing each other background vocals in the start of their solo career. The album Blackheart Man is a good example of his roots reggae style. Alright, so now Bunny is on to his solo career, so let's talk a little bit about that. So after Bunny left the Wailers, he experimented with disco on his album Hook, Line, and Sinker, while Sings the Wailers successfully reworks many of the Wailers' songs with the backing of top Jamaican musicians Sly and Robbie. He also had success recording in the typical apolitical, more pop dancehall style he has outlived in a culture where death by violence is commonplace. But he also had a dancehall rocker's edge that was best exemplified by the album Bunny Wailer Sings The Wailers, in which he reinterprets some of the Wailers' material as solo roots singer, backed by a solid Sly and Robbie bass roots reggae grouping. The album, produced by Bunny Wailer, was recorded at Harry J Studio. Some of these tracks are reworked classic Wailer tracks such as Dreamland, a cover of El Tempo's My Dream Island, with slightly reworked lyrics that became Bunny's signature song. This was recorded in 1966 by Clement Dodd and in 1970 with Lee Scratch Perry, then re-released as a 7 in 1971 with U-Roy version on the B-side. So two great icons we're speaking of that just passed in this year, U-Roy and Bunny. Another classic is Dancing Shoes, first recorded in the mid 1960s as a drive-in ska or slow soul classic with Bunny Wailer as lead vocal. So Bunny, he won the Grammy. He won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album in 1971 for the album Time Will Tell, a tribute to Bob Marley, 1995 for Crucial, Roots Classics, and 1997 for Hall of Fame, a tribute to Bob Marley's 50th anniversary. He was also featured on album True Love by Toots and the Maytals. All icons, guys, all icons. We're incredibly proud of them. Bunny also won the Grammy Award in 2004 for Best Reggae Album and showcased many notable musicians, including Willie Nelson, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Gwen Stefani, Ben Harper, The Roots, Keith Richard, Toot Hibberts, Paul Douglas, Jackie Jackson, Ken Booth, and so many more. Today, Bunny resides in Kingston. Well, he resided in Kingston and he was said to be on a farm located in Jamaica, St. Thomas. Since Bunny passed, there should be one remaining Wailer, Beverly Kelso, which we'll check on and confirm in the comment section. So in 2012, let's talk a bit about a couple awards that he got. In August 2012, it was announced that Bunny would receive Jamaican's fifth highest honor, the Order of Jamaica. In 2006, he played a month-long Black Heart Man tour to celebrate the 40th anniversary of his 1976 album. In 2007, he was awarded the Order of Merit by the Jamaican government, the nation's fourth highest honor. And in 2018, sadly, he suffered a minor stroke and had speech issues. In 2019 November, he received a Pinnacle Award in New York from the Coalition to Preserve Reggae. Alright, so that's it about Bunny Wailer. Out of respect for his fans and family, we will not speak about his passing or the details thereof. Just hoping to celebrate and honor this great man musician and continue to keep his legacy alive. Have a blessed day, everyone. Big up, bless up, and stay upful from Destination Jamaica.